Hi there everybody, this is your old pal Lee, and we're going to go over today how to make a cozy for your coffee cup. This is a great beginner project. It's all the skills involved on it are basic and very easy to do. It's a great one to have in your repertoire because you can make quick, easy gifts from this. Say your friend calls you in the morning and says, "Hey, it's my birthday today. Let's meet tonight. Go out and have a good time." And you're like, "Oh, I don't have a gift." If you got a little bit of stash of yarn and your knitting needles, and you can get a coffee cup and some coffee to give them, make a little personal little cozy. You can even embroider it with their initials, or their favorite team, something like that. I'll show you how to do that at the end. And you can make it up in basically an hour, and it's just a great entry-level learn to knit beginning project. So in your kit you should have the coffee cup, about 10 grams of yarn. There won't be a needle. You're going to need to go to any craft store, and you'll need to get a couple of needles, and we'll talk about what size of needles to get. And you're also going to want, when you finish, you're going to want a tapestry needle. A tapestry needle, it looks like this. And see, it's just a large needle with a really big eye to it. We'll use that when we're finishing it. Now, what kind of needles to get? You're going to want to get needles sufficiently big that in your knitting 5 rows comes out to about an inch. The gauge on this is 5 rows makes an inch. What is gauge? Gauge is a count of how many stitches to an inch in knitting, and it's useful for when you're making fitting garments so that they are all of the right size throughout the whole piece. It's not too big here and too small there. On a project like this, gauge really doesn't matter as much, so don't worry about it. As you're beginning, you don't worry about it. When you get into making fitted things, you'll start learning more about it. But you're going to want big enough needles that you can get when you knit 5 rows. It should come out to be about an inch. So I would say get number 10 needles. Number 10 needles are ones that you can use for a million different projects. It's good to have. I use 10.5s instead of 10s because I knit tight, so I go up a half size. But for most people, 10s will be sufficient. And like I said, you're going to want a tapestry needle as well. So the first thing we're going to do, we're using worsted weight yarn. That's that medium type yarn. And you're going to want to cast on using a long tail cast on. You're going to want to cast on 15 stitches. How do we do that? We start by tying a slip knot. Just a granny knot, a slip knot, and put it on your needle. And that's number 1. Now from this point on, we're going to hold the yarn wrapped around our thumb and our index fingers, just like this. And you're going to take the tip of your needle, going to go under, up against your thumb. Now you've got a circle of yarn around your thumb. You're going to go over and catch that other side, pull it on through, and you got a loop on, you get a loop there on your needle. So one more time, like that, and again like that. There we go. Keep showing you how to do it. There you are. Okay, holding it like this. Like that. Like that. And you're going to keep doing that until you have 15 stitches on your needle. 12. We need 3 more. And just about have it. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got 15 stitches on my needle. So when I knit this up, this is going to make a band that's roughly 3 inches wide, and I'm going to keep knitting it until it is 7 inches long. So for my first row, row number 1, I'm going to knit these stitches that I've just cast on. And don't worry if they're kind of loose at first, that's okay. They'll tighten up as you get more rows on there. First one always looks awkward and you're like, I'm not sure about that, but it's okay. You kind of pull on the tail and kind of lock them into place. So I'm just knitting this first row. Okay. Alright. Now then, got them knit, going to turn my yarn, and now I'm going to purl. So knit the first row, purl the second row. And you're just going to alternate rows of knit and purl until you have a band that is 7 inches long. But after you've alternated twice and then done 1 more row of knit, if you want to stop and check the gauge, you should be pretty close to 1 inch. It's okay to be a fraction off on this one. Alrighty. Alright. So as you can see, this is what you're making, right? So on our next video, I'm going to show you how to bind off, which is what you do at the very end, and then how to sew the 2 sides together with your tapestry needle. So see you in a second with the next step in the process. Keep knitting till you get to about 7 inches.